passenger who wasn't there. It was around 12:43 a.m. when the app pinged me with a pickup. A woman outside a convenience store, just off the old bypass road. She slid into the back seat without a word. Long coat, pale face, half hidden by her hair. I asked, "Headed home?" She nodded. Quiet but polite. The ride was maybe 20 minutes. At first, nothing unusual. Just headlights cutting through dark stretches of empty road. But I noticed something strange in the rearview mirror. Whenever we passed under streetlights, her reflection never fully appeared. Just the empty seat glowing faintly in the mirror, while I could still see her in the corner of my eye. Halfway through, she spoke, soft, almost like a sigh. "Thank you for taking me home." I glanced back, forcing a smile. "No problem." That's when I realized I hadn't entered her drop-off yet. The app was still loading. "Could you confirm the address?" I asked. She didn't reply, just looked out the window. When we passed the next intersection, I swear I heard her whisper, "Here's fine." But it was nothing but a cemetery entrance. The air turned cold, breath frosting in front of me. My heart hammered. I looked in the rear view again. This time the seat was empty. The buckle still clicked, swaying lightly. My phone buzzed with a new notification. Ride completed. I stared at the screen. Under passenger name, it simply read, "Unknown." And now, every time I drive past that cemetery, my rear passenger light flicks on by itself. Just for a second. Just long enough for me to wonder, who's still riding with me? Room 6B. When I worked night security at the old Riverside Hotel, I had one rule drilled into me. Never check room 6B after midnight. It sounded like superstition, until one night I had to. A guest complained of banging noises on the 6th floor. I sighed, grabbed my flashlight, and rode the elevator up. The hallway was silent, carpets reeking of mildew. Room 6B's door stood slightly open. I knocked. No answer. The banging had stopped. Against my better judgment, I pushed the door. The room was dark except for the faint glow of the bathroom light. The bed was perfectly made. No bags, no guest, just silence. Then, I noticed the mirror. A shape stood reflected in it, tall and thin, facing away from me. I froze. My flashlight trembled in my hand. "Sir, you need to leave the room," I whispered. The figure didn't move, didn't breathe. But in the reflection, its head turned slowly, impossibly, until hollow eyes stared right at me, though nothing stood in the room itself. The door slammed shut behind me. My radio screamed with static. I bolted, heart pounding, sprinting down 6 flights without stopping. Later, I reported it. The manager only frowned. "Room 6B doesn't exist anymore," he said flatly. And when I checked the floor plans, he was right. There was no 6B listed, but I know what I saw. And sometimes, in empty hotel mirrors, I still feel that same stare, watching from behind The static caller. Working overnight. Dispatch for roadside assistance. You get strange calls. But one night, I got a call I'll never forget. 2:11 a.m. A woman's voice, shaky but clear. My car broke down. Mile marker 47. Please hurry. I logged the call, sent a truck. Easy. But an hour later, the driver radioed in. No car here. No woman. Roads empty. I double-checked. Caller ID read 000-000-0000. I tried calling back. Static answered. Then a faint whisper. You're too late. Chills shot through me. Next night, same time, same number, same voice. My car broke down. Mile marker 47. Please hurry. This time, I asked, ma'am, what's your name? Silence. Then, static. I sent another driver. He swore he saw fresh tire marks leading off the road into the trees. But no car, no person. I couldn't let it go. I dug through old reports. My stomach dropped. 20 years ago, at mile marker 47, a woman crashed her car. She called for help, but no one ever found her alive. Now, every so often, the line rings at 2:11 a.m. Same voice, same plea, and always the same ending. You're too late. The silent operator. I worked night shifts at a taxi dispatch center. Most calls were routine. Pickups, drop-offs, nothing unusual. But one night, a man called in with a request that still haunts me. His voice was calm, almost too calm. Send a cab to Maple and 5th. Don't ask questions. I logged it, sent the nearest driver. Minutes later, the driver radioed in. Passengers in the back. He hasn't said a word. The system tracks routes in real time. I watched as the cab drove away from the city, down old highways, into the woods. Then the signal froze. I tried calling the driver. No answer. Tried calling the passenger's number. Caller ID showed all zeros. An hour later, the cab finally reappeared on the map. But empty. Parked neatly by the roadside. Driver gone. Passenger gone. We filed a report. Nothing ever turned up. But here's the part that chills me most. Every year, on the same night, at the same time, the phone rings again. Same calm voice, same request. Send a cab to Maple and 5th. Don't ask questions. The man at the window. When I was in college, I rented a tiny apartment on the second floor of an old house. Quiet place, too quiet. One night, I was studying around 2 a.m. when I heard tapping. Soft, steady, on my window. I froze. My window faced the backyard. No fire escape, no balcony. Just glass and a drop to the ground. I tried to convince myself it was tree branches. But when I looked, there was a man, standing outside, grinning. His face pressed against the glass. My heart stopped. I grabbed my phone, called the landlord. By the time he got there, the yard was empty. No footprints, nothing. The next night, same time, tap, tap, tap. This time, I didn't look. I just sat there, holding my breath, listening. Eventually, it stopped. I moved out a week later. Months after, I learned something that still makes my stomach turn. 10 years earlier, a tenant in that same unit was attacked in her room. by someone who climbed up to the window at 2 a.m. They never caught him. Now, people say if you stay long enough, you'll hear the tapping. Always at the window, always at 2 a.m. If this story gave you chills, drop a comment with a ghost emoji so I know you're still with me.